straight off of it, so you just are going to elect the president, vice president, board of finance.
They just go, man.
That was better.
Just go, man. Just let it go.
Yeah.
And then with the election, you just do the aye or nay, or, so we don't have to roll call it.
All right. So just be show of hands on that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all ready? All right, so we'll go ahead and call to order the annual meeting for the Board of Finance. So we'll just start with the election of the president of the Board of Finance. I was the president last year, so we'll open the floor up for.
I'll make a motion to leave Derek Tinnell as president of the Board of Finance for this school year, or for the year.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, second. All those in favor? Yeah, go ahead.
We don't do the pledge or anything ahead of time?
Not on this, no, we'll do the pledge on the beginning of the regular meeting. Not quite, yeah. Any other nominations? Okay. All those in favor? 6-1, sorry. And then be the secretary for the Board of Finance. Travis was last year's.
I'll make a motion to leave Travis as the secretary of the Board of Finance.
I'll second.
All those in favor? 6-1. All right, so business review of the investment report. The investment report is in your packet. And any questions on the financial report? This is the materials in the packet that I've got there at the end. Anything you want to add, Dr. Van Byne?
No, I don't have much voice.
Okay. Well, we won't make you sign or anything, so.
Thank you.
Hearing no questions? Then I am required to read this. In compliance with the Senate Enrolled Act 549, the attached drafts are being presented to you as a written report to the Board of School Finance. These drafts include annual school corporation fiscal indicators as released by the Distressed Unit Appeal Board on December 31st, 2023. The school corporation fiscal indicators are available online I will not be reading that entire thing. Do I have to?
No, if it's on the website, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's on the website.
Perfect.
The online graphs provide a more detailed version of the information. These graphs, along with the annual investment report, will serve as an assessment of the school corporation's current overall financial condition. If there are no questions, we will adjourn. No questions? We'll adjourn. Now we'll move on to the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, welcome everybody. We're going to start on with the election of officers, and Chandler will let him take the floor there.
Perfect. Okay, so Indiana Code establishes that the governing body of each school corporation shall organize by electing a president, a vice president, a secretary, no later than January 15th of each year. The election of officers is a final action of the board, and thus, if anyone is present who wishes to make a comment related to the board officer election, we would ask that you come forward now. Public comment, though, will be still limited as it would be in the regular meeting. Any comments? Hearing none, we'll move on. Is there a nomination for board president for 2024?
I'll make a motion to reappoint Derek Tinnell as board president for 2024.
Okay, is there a second?
Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay. Are there any other nominations for board president for 2024? Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion now to close the nominations for board president specifically?
So moved.
There you go. All right, let's get a second on that.
Second.
Okay, perfect. All right, now we're going to take the vote. So all in favor, go ahead and raise your hand at this time. Okay, and then those who are nay, go ahead. Perfect. All right, Derek Tennell is remaining president for 2024. Okay, moving on to the board vice president for 2024. Do we have any nominations for that?
I nominate Isaac Pyle. Sorry.
I'll second.
Perfect, okay. What about any other nominations here on the board for vice president? Okay, hearing none. Who is, can we get a motion on closing the nominations?
I'll make a motion to close the nominations.
Second.
Great. All right, all those in favor, go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, and those against, please raise your hand. Okay, Isaac Pyle will be the vice president for 2024. All right, is there a nomination for board secretary? Don't all jump at once.
Same, I'll nominate Travis Beck.
Okay, perfect. What about a second?
I second.
All right. Do we have any other nominations? All right, all those in favor of closing the nominations, or let's just get a motion on closing the nominations?
Make a motion to close the nominations.
All right, second.
Second.
All those in favor, go ahead and raise your hand. All right, and against? None? Perfect. Next up, I believe that we have, is it Blue River representative?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Currently Blake is serving under that capacity, and she is, those meetings are during the day. She's available during the day, and she does a great job at it.
Okay, all right, so,
I would like to remain the representative on the Blue River Career Programs. I've been on there for a year, and it is the second Tuesday of every month at noon, and so if everybody is okay with that, do what you feel, but I would like to remain on there.
okay.
I can make that motion.
Okay, perfect. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any other nominations? All right, do we get a motion to close the nominations then?
So moved.
Okay, second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor of Blake Newkirk remaining the Blue River representative, please raise your hand. All right, and the nays are none. All right, congratulations to all of the elected officers for the 2024 year, and I will now turn the meeting back over to Board President Tim.
All right, so now looks like we're going to be at C here. So that's going to be the appointment of the school attorney, board executive secretary, district treasurer, deputy treasurer, high school and elementary ECA treasurers. Currently, we have Church, and Hiddle, and Antrim for the attorney, board executive secretary and district treasurer, Tommy Thope, deputy treasurer, Belinda Head, corporation ECA treasurer is Amber Mitchell.
I move we accept the slate as presented.
I'll second.
All those in favor? 7-0. All right, now set the board and board secretary salaries. The 2023 rates were $2,000 for board members, and that is by state law. $60 per meeting for the secretary. Board members may also receive a maximum of $2,000 per year for their service. So yeah, as I said, that is state law. So we can decrease it, or we can just leave it the same. That's the options.
Sounds fair to me.
Yeah. So we just need a motion to approve that.
I move we approve $2,000 for the board members and $60 for the board secretary, executive secretary.
I'll second. Oh, sorry. I'll second.
All those in favor? 7-0. And adoption of the annual calendar and location of the board meetings. That list is included in the packets, and see if we can't get those posted out as well earlier. But
And what's the protocol on, like last year, we had a couple meetings in the building level. We say they're all gonna be here, as long as we post it ahead of time, that, hey, we're gonna have a meeting at the elementary or whatever.
Correct.
We can
Yep.
still do that, correct? Okay.
we can legally adjust those at least 72 hours. at the time, so.
I enjoyed that, so. Been a while since I've been down here.
Okay. We just need a motion to approve those.
I move we approve the meeting dates as presented and get them posted.
I second. All those in favor? 7-0. All right, so now it's time for us to open the floor for public comments. Do we have any public comments? Any public comments?
I was just
Go ahead.
wondering if we could get, I've reached out multiple times trying to get an update on a ag teacher. And since I have not gotten any return phone calls or anything, I have since then had, now that the kids are back in school, I tried prior to the school ending and this week. I've also had multiple parents reach out to me to ask me if I knew anything. So I can only tell you that I asked my son what he has done this week, and they play on their phone. We've known since October that our ag teacher was leaving, so I would like to know when someone, I understand that, and I also looked back, and it looks like the last time the school has shared the position was November 27th, and I suspect that's for selfish reasons possibly. It had 26 shares. I don't think people like the comments that were on there, but 26 people, I have people on my friends list that are ag teachers at other schools. They may have went to school with someone that's looking, like, it's not about anything but the kids. So what are we doing to take care of these kids that currently don't have a teacher?
Thank you for coming. I wish I had a great update. I just can't give an update because I don't speak on behalf of the board. So that's just not something I can give a great answer to. I don't know if Wally has any updates as far as if there's been any more applicants. He just kind of got into the role, but.
So sorry your kid goes to a public school and doesn't have a teacher and we can't tell you anything?
No, Charity, it's not that.
With
It's not
public
that.
comment, they don't have to give a total response back and forth, but certainly getting the public comment and their side of things, that's something that the board can then take into consideration.
The reason I can't give you a straight answer is because I can't speak on myself personally, what my feelings are, or what I think is going on, or what's happening.
Isn't it?
I just don't. I know, but I just don't have that material in front of me.
Jobs posted, we're looking.
In the meantime, though, that's what I called before semester ended, so I could know. So we could also make an educated decision, maybe we should be dropping classes if we're going to be sitting on our phone half of the day. Parents have a right to know. And there has been zero communication. I respect that it's not your decision, but if I'm not getting answers elsewhere, I have nowhere else to come except for this public forum, so I appreciate that.
Gotcha.
And I would like, there's a lot, I'm not the only one that wants to know. And, you know, my kid spends enough time on his phone. I don't send him to school to do that. I send him to school to learn. So I have heard from my son, again, because there's no other communication, that there's consideration for it going online. If that is the case, we've had 3 months to implement that. Why wasn't it ready to go when they came back to school this week? And nothing?
I'm just getting up to speed. I've been here 4 days. 5, 6, 7.
I apologize. I will make sure that somebody does update you as to the status of that process, but that's unfortunately, that's
Okay.
being that that's as much as I can do at this point, is just to tell you that we will update you on the status.
Okay.
Any other comments? Go ahead.
I just want to come and publicly voice my concern concerning a specific bus driver, bus route.
Just make sure we don't mention names in the public, but yes, go ahead.
But please state your name.
Joel Parker.
Thank you.
There was a accident this week. Luckily, no students were on that school bus at that time. That's the route that my son rides. But that same driver also had an accident last year where they were lucky that they missed the tree completely. They didn't miss it completely, but they didn't hit it head on. There was some damage. There were some kids with some minor scrapes, bruises, whatever.
But I know I've had other parents contact us concerned about their children's safety with that particular driver and what the status is of his return to driving that route, or do we need to make alternate plans? Are we gonna be notified that he's coming back so that we can make plans ahead of time, or what's going on with it?
Thank you. Any other comments?
I have one more about something different, if no one else has something. At the last meeting that I was at, I think there's been a meeting in between, so I apologize, but Mrs. Owing spoke about a tremendous amount of things that she has done at the elementary school, including an RTI every day, including it in the schedule, knowing where kids are, what kids need help. I would like to encourage those who make those decisions to understand that there is a whole group of kids that went through the entire elementary without that. And if your kiddos are kids that never need any help, that's fabulous. And I hope that you're never in the position that we've been put in when your kids need help and you can't get it and they're not getting it. It's hard. It's so hard. And there are kids that were fluffed all the way through that school. Oh, your kid's getting straight A's, there's nothing wrong. They were not giving the interventions that they should have had. They were not given the time that they should have to catch up. So they're behind. Those kids are now in the middle school and high school. What plans do we have to make sure that our teachers are ready to differentiate their learning? Because not every kid learns the same. Don't tell me that I need to take my kid to Franklin College to a tutor. I'm not here for that. I just think sometimes we're blessed in our positions to not understand. Sometimes we're blessed that we have a kid that's just gifted and we don't have to understand. And sometimes it's a completely different reason. But there are kids that need help. There are kids at this school that need help. And I want to know that we're looking at program. When we have a blessing fund from someone, it doesn't have to go to sports every time. It doesn't have to go to a scholarship. Maybe it goes to, there's no, I don't know if Triton still has it, but they used to have a program every morning before school, and teachers volunteer, and kids who need help with homework, who didn't understand an assignment, they can come in the cafeteria, the gym, wherever, and they get that help. I know when my daughter was at Hauser had a grant that they used to pay teachers to tutor kids, and there were those options to sign up. I have asked for years, since Madeline was in elementary school, about a tutor, and I can't ever find one. There's kids that need help, and we need to do something to take care of them. And I'm voicing my concerns. And I think Beth, while she has done great things, Mrs. Hoeing acknowledged that by stating all the changes that she has made there. Those should have been going on when my kids were there, and they weren't. So now you've got kids that are behind. You've got kids that are still struggling, and we need to do the right thing to help them.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none. Consent items and claims. We have the approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. Also, let's do the approval of the accounts payable vouchers.
I move we approve the accounts payable vouchers and the meeting minutes, all sets of them inclusively.
Second.
All those in favor? 7-0. All right, then the business and financial reports, the financial report and also the extracurricular and cafeteria account report are in your packets. Do we have any questions or discussion on those? All right, here now, so we'll move on to the new business. Wally, would you like to?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. We recommend acceptance of donations and grants, being $50 from Treatitis for the Spartan cupboard. That's it.
Any discussion on those? We have a motion.
Make a motion to approve the donation as presented.
I second.
All those in favor? 7-0.
Recommend approval of the cancellation of outstanding checks that have not cleared our bank within the last 2 years since the date of issue. This simply allows us to clear our books from outstanding checks.
Make a motion to approve.
All those in favor? 7-0.
Hang on just a second. Who, she usually writes it
I'm
down.
writing it down.
You're writing it down, okay.
Yep.
All she's hearing is guy voices, probably right to know.
Recommend approval of the administrator's salary increases as they are listed in your packet.
Only discussion I want to add to this prior to voting is that we have, this is a phase 1 of our non-certified staff raises, so we're going to be looking at corporation-wide, making sure that we're doing enough market alignment to be competitive with other districts. But that's about all I wanted to add to it.
I move to accept them as presented.
I second.
Go for it, do it, Dustin.
I second.
All right. All those in favor? 7-0.
Okay, under other, I have placed into your packet a number of documents related to the dissolution of the Earlywood Educational Services. That's our special ed cooperative. It's been going on for a period of time. Church, Hiddle, and Antrim have been involved in advising us on the legal steps necessary to dissolve our cooperative and to move to providing our own services for special ed students. There is in your packet a dissolution of Earlywood Educational Services that I ask that you approve. Actually, there are 3 documents, and with your permission, I'm going to give you all 3 and ask you to approve them. The first of those being, if I can find it, an agreement regarding dissolution of Earlywood Services. A post-dissolution service agreement that basically empowers Franklin Community Schools to administer all the leftover furniture and such things and how they're disposed of and taken care of. And then a resolution of post-dissolution services, which is the legal backing for the document before it. And I ask that you approve these simply so we can continue to move forward in moving away from Earlywood as our special ed provider.
Any discussion on that?
So just to clarify, because I double checked, we actually approved a version of these last month. There's just very slight wording changes in them that we have to reapprove them.
And for those that don't know, Earlywood is dissolving no matter what we do. We can either jump in here and accept these terms as has been negotiated, or
That's accurate.
it's not like we're removing ourselves from them, they're removing themselves from them.
This is a wrong process coming, and all the school corporations involved have taken part in the dissolution of the services and the moving away from the cooperative.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? 7-0.
Okay, I have one more document, and this one is new, and it's not different wording. I ask that you approve a memorandum of understanding between Shelby Eastern School Corporation, Edinburgh Community School Corporation, Flat Rock Haw Creek School Corporation, Southwestern Consolidated Schools, and Northwestern Consolidated Schools of Shelby County. This one, memorandum of understanding, allows us to share the services of a physical therapist. It's a fairly rare bird. We're going to get her services for a period a day and share her salary, benefits, and expenses with these other school corporations. We ask that you approve this memorandum of understanding so we can maintain the services of a physical therapist.
I make the motion to approve. Real quick, if I could just ask a question on that.
Yeah.
That at this point in time is inadequate to cover all cases?
At this today, yes.
Understood, and we have our own freedom to get additional services either through this arrangement or elsewhere
Yeah.
as needed in the future if any of that changes.
Yes. We have to. I mean, if it's in their IEPs to provide physical therapy services, we have to find them.
Just want to make sure we're not fighting for hours out of this arrangement.
Not yet.
Okay. I'll second.
All those in favor? 7-0. Okay. It's on to the reports and presentations at this point.
I really don't have a
Wait a minute,
superintendent's.
wait a
Yeah,
minute.
John.
We've got a conflict of interest.
Oh, right.
Thing.
In there. Where'd that go?
Oh,
Very last.
conflict of interest.
No, thank you.
Last one. Is there any questions on the conflict of interest disclosure?
Make a motion to approve.
A second.
All those in favor? 7-0. Thank you for catching that, Travis.
Sorry.
Now we can go to the reports.
Mrs. Howing and Mr. Taylor are both in their buildings for...
He's there.
Oh, there he is.
You're in he's in your blind
He
spot.
snuck in. Do you have anything to share, John?
Last week, we hosted the Shelby County basketball tournament. It was great to see several of you there. That is something that comes around once every 4 years, and it went off without a hitch. It's a good prep event for us as well, because in 3 weeks, we'll host the girls' sectionals, followed by the next week in the girls' regional basketball tournament. So it was a good prep for us, a lot of people there. The PTO, as well as the Alumni Association, were able to host dinners to also raise support for their organizations as well. So it was good altogether, and again, I appreciate all of you who came out to the game to support our athletes. Third day back, it's good because last week there were a lot of other schools in the county that went back, and we were able to get that extra time. They had a week and a half off of school. We had 2 full weeks. I think that was great recuperation time for students, staff, and the community. Third day back, we were really looking at getting into testing season. SAT, iLearn, all those different things are right around the bend. So we just started diagnostic testing through IXL, which will kind of place our students and show where they are at in math and language arts. And that will help us prepare for those tests and that come around in just a short amount of time. So other than that, everybody, as we get back in the building, seeing the smiling faces, and everybody recharged has been really great, and we look forward to a good second semester. So, any questions?
Thank
I
you.
want to thank Wally for stepping on board. He's been a great asset. We've only met a few times, and his extensive knowledge is great, and he will definitely help us as a corporation move forward to where we need to be, and help us grow as administrators as well.
I don't want to correct you, but I do want to give credit where credit's due. Athletic Boosters hosted the meal.
Athletic Boosters?
Alumni
Okay.
Association Athletic Boosters.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Mrs. Howing is occupied in her building with an activity this evening, couldn't be with us. And the superintendent does not have a report to share.
Moving on to personnel.
Personnel, leaves, resignations, and terminations, we recommend, and recommendations to hire. I recommend approval of the hiring of Colton Brown as varsity head baseball coach.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? 7-0. All right. Nothing else there, so on to your...
I do have comments. Not really a report. I simply want to say that I have thoroughly enjoyed my first days here at Southwestern Consolidated Schools. It's been a real learning experience in meeting all the people and continuing to ask questions and learning about the system and finding places where we need to spend some time and fix things and celebrating the great strengths in this school corporation, because there are many of them. Beth Hoeing described to me when I first arrived here that this is a little slice of paradise, and I believe she is right. I have climbed up on the roof of the high school. I've been into the kitchens. I've opened doors all over the place. I've met and shaken hands with more people than I can count. And I thank you for the opportunity to be here and serve. And I hope the most success I have in this job is finding my replacement for you, and that she is a great leader, because this is a great place. Thank you.
Got anything, Travis?
Just wanted to thank so many people for continuing to come to the meetings and be a part. I know we were here for years with the two building level principals would be the only people that would ever show up. Just want to thank the community for involvement.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, also thank you, and just to add a little bit onto Wally, super appreciate Wally being here and helping us through some recovery times and fixes and celebrations, as he had said. The superintendent search, public will be a part of, so more to come on all of that, so anxiously awaiting.
Yeah, just second all that stuff that he said. Also, I wanted to say about his comment on bringing the community involved. We're going to be having a community survey that will come out at some point here in the next few weeks. Is that correct?
As soon as we can make the corrections and
Yeah.
get it prepared and posted.
Yeah. So look to see a community survey come out, and that'll be a pretty crucial part about this process as well. And thank you again for everybody that's coming. I know it's frustrating when we can't give you direct answers like what we would be able to, and we aren't serving in this capacity, but in this capacity, I have to speak, and everybody here has to speak as a board as a whole, so. Thanks again for coming, keep showing up.
Can I add on to that, Derek?
Yeah, go ahead.
And let us apologize, and part of it's my fault for starting 30 minutes late, but some of the questions and the things that are looming into what you have asked and what you haven't asked are a long list of things that we just only have so much time to go through, and then we really trying to handle things in order of priority, and students are always number one, so students and staff.
Yeah.
So, trying to get to everything.
Yeah, it's a lot more than what you could ever imagine, I can assure you. Yeah, that's all I have. Thank you all for coming.